I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a gap between you and your favorite player, but it's probably not what you think. It's not just speed, strength, or genetics. It's deeper than that. And the truth is, if you don't see it clearly, you'll never close that gap. This video is about helping you understand the real reasons why that gap even exists, so you can start closing it today. Before we talk about the greats, let's talk about what most players are starting from. Let's talk about coaching. Most of your coaches care. Like they're doing the best job that they can, but the system is just limited. I've just experienced this firsthand. When I was a starter in college, I got coached every single day, every single rep. But the second I went to the league and was an undrafted free agent and not starting, that attention dropped like crazy. And it's not because they didn't like me. I know that for sure. That I wouldn't have been there if that wasn't the case. But in football, coaches, they put all the attention on the production. And unlike school and the classroom, where teachers help the ones who struggle the most, in football, the producers get all the energy. The starters get the reps. Everybody else, you're expected to just figure that thing out. And even when coaches do want to help you, here's the truth. Some are great technically, but not tactically. Some are great motivators, but not really good developers. And almost none have the bandwidth to give one on one feedback to 10, 12, 15, 20 linemen. That's where the gap starts. You're being coached in a system that isn't built to help you individually improve at its highest level, at your highest level. So now let's talk about greatness. See, I played with Laramie Tunzel in Miami. And yeah, he's freakishly talented. Like he's ridiculous. But what separated him wasn't just the talent. It was the way that he solved problems on the field that other people couldn't. He was two steps ahead of the defense of his opponent. His technique, his positioning, his timing, it all worked together. And that's what I mean when I say great players don't just play, they solve problems in real time. And you don't learn that just from watching highlight reels. You learn it by studying their film like a surgeon and obsessing over your film. How do I get better? How do I look more like Laramie? The first step to closing the gap is seeing what they see. Let's look at Tom Brady. I got a chance to play with him as well. One of the greatest to ever do it, we all know. But here's what most people miss. Early in his career, he hired a private coach, Alex Guerrero. He helped him completely rethink how he trained. Not just lifting, not just footwork, but everything. His eating, his mobility, his recovery, his throwing mechanics. The relationship became TB12, a whole system built around personalized tactics that worked for Tom Brady. Brady didn't want to wait for the team. He didn't want to wait for the coaches to tell him what to do. He built his own system around his needs. But if you were to implement those same things and build a system around you and have that personalized intention, that's how you close the gap. It's really by getting specific and systematized in the way that you train, in the way that you drill to get better at your skill. Most players, they're doing what everybody else is doing, but the best players, they have a plan that's built for them. And finally, Julian Edelman, one of the toughest, one of the most toughest, most relentless dudes I've ever seen. Yo, we're in practice in New England right before the Super Bowl. He was running a route, routine, and then all of a sudden his knee buckled. And it looked like he tore something. I can't lie. He was even holding it after the play. And most guys would have tapped out. But Edelman, he didn't even miss a single rep. He was back. If not that next rep, the next day. He would always be out there before practice. He was catching tennis balls, working on his hand-eye coordination to make sure he can catch any ball that came his way. And trainers were always working with him, regardless. On the field, off the field, post-practice, pre-practice. He didn't have a private coach, but he didn't have any excuses. Just pure, relentless work. And that's the third gap between you and your favorite player. It's your mindset. It wasn't that he was the fastest. He wasn't the biggest, but he was tough as hell. His routine, his commitment, it was just elite. That's the kind of mindset that doesn't need motivation, but the mission is already decided. So, what's the real gap between you and your favorite player or the best player that you know? It's not just talent, it's the clarity to see your problems through film, it's the structure and tactics to train with purpose, like doing the right drills that's going to translate to the game, and the mindset to show up every day, no matter what. And while you might not have their resources, you could still close the gap if you're willing to do the work with the right system. So if this is something that hits home for you and you want help building that system, or you need somebody to help you be a private and personalized coach for you in your offensive and defensive lineman, high school, college level, NFL level, go ahead and DM me the word lineman on my Instagram at leaguealignment.com or at leaguealignment, and I'll show you what we do to make sure that these athletes can close the gap, so that you can close the gap between you and your favorite player. Now, there's always a threshold. Someone's going to be more athletic than you. Someone's going to have more strength than you based off their God-given talents. But there's always an opportunity for you to get better by seeing what the greats do, by seeing how they are elite and the tactics they use in order for them to improve at every opportunity that they can. Either way, you're not going to wait for somebody to hand this to you. You got to start seeing this gap clearly and then do something about it. Appreciate you guys tuning in. This is Coach Tony with League Alignment, and I'll see you on the next video.